To begin with, God in man knows he exists through a combination in his creative and critical mindset. The two attributes, creativity and criticism, works in a perfect symbiosis when it comes to create actual knowledge about anything. The symbiosis works like this. First, the creativity in man grasp or assemble an assembly of things out of his very own experience of the world. Out of this assembly of things, some things derived from a very early stage of his very own, and by himself created, view of the world. In the question whether he exists, God in man grasps all that information he created for himself about the world, considering himself personally. This grasping or assembling is also called creating an abstraction in the creative mind. The things that are being grasped are, in themselves, also created abstractions, earlier in time. God in man's own existence is an abstraction of abstractions, and his self-awareness, the abstraction of himself, is a thing in this thing itself. Now explaining to you how he works. In God in man's separation and decision-making, in which of all the abstractions that he have created since the very beginning, that consider himself or not, he uses his criticism, his ability to separate and decide. An ability that started as early as described in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 1, when he still was in his mother's womb, and where he created and separated. The two main abstractions of the placements, what was up and what was down, in the two main abstractions, heaven and earth, of the main abstraction called the world, his very own worldview. The very beginning of God in man's creation of the world starts with the great Mother Nature's development of his sense of balance. The actual process of knowing consists of the creation of these assemblies of abstractions through the separation and decision-making to make each and every assembly fit to pass judgment according to his conscience with use of criticism. This process of knowing is in English called knowledge, and it all takes place in an undimensional, three-directional space and time in the godly mind.